Hey there everybody, how is it going? What are we checking out today? Well, this is truly an amazing piece of studio gear, or live gear. You could use this in a lot of situations. This is the new Notes Captor, and as many of you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Notes stuff. I've been using the Notes live for a very long time with my amps, and basically, the nitty-gritty of what this is welcome back, Tube Amps. Hello! You get to rock out with your 100 watt amp, 40 watt amp, whatever you have, and just crank it up, and you can now use it whisper quiet. If you want to know the signal path of exactly what was going, I was going from the Rev, right there, the generator 740, out of that into the captor, out of the captor into the cab. It's hard to say all these words. And from the Notes cab into my interface into the DAW. I chose to use the cab. You could easily just run this into your computer and get the Notes Wall of Sound plugin, which is free. But you know, I'm not really a computer-y kind of guy, so I like to have a hardware unit. Even though this is just software in a pedal form, I thought this would be kind of a cool combination to have these two working together. But this one also has a simulation of a guitar cab and bass cab already in it, so you actually don't even need to do anything if you don't want to. So this is all kinds of stuff. This is a load box that, you know, if you don't know, if you have a tube amp, your amp has to have a load. You can't just turn an amp head on without it being plugged into something. And if you do, well, you're asking for trouble. So basically, this is a load box. So you can now run straight out of your amp head into this. Now, out of this, you have a few different options that you could do. You could run straight out of it into a cabinet. It has actually an attenuator on here, so you could run out of this into an amp cabinet, and it's going to attenuate it down 20 dB. Now, why would you want to do that? That way you can really crank the amp up. You know, everyone knows tube amps, the louder they are, the better they sound, and this is just a perfect way to do it. Now, you have a through. If you want to run straight through this, you can. And you also could use this in your home studio or run it into a board, something in a live situation. So say that, like the way that I used it was, I just plugged my amp into the input here on the back of the captor. Now on the front, you have a couple of different things you could do. You actually have some built-in options where you can simulate a guitar cabinet or a bass cabinet. So I have some playing here in a minute that I'll get to, that you can check it out. I think that the built-in ones are pretty decent. You know, I really like them. I prefer to use the software, but if this is what I had to use, I wouldn't be mad about it at all. I think that they sound great. I've used some other ones in the past, and they did not sound good. But basically, you could run out of this. Of course, you have your power. You have your output level of the actual signal, because this is just giving you a dry signal when you use the line out of your amp. And what I mean is, like, if you have distortion on, you'll still have your distortion, all that kind of stuff. It's not a DI. Now, you can have DIs with this. If you don't know what a DI is, that is basically like a signal from your amp that you can reamp later. So that way, if you wanted to, you know, you record this riff, you get a DI, that way you can kind of check it out later, and maybe you want to use a different amp or something like that. You know, you can reamp the DI signal that you have. So like I said, basically the way that I used it was with this little doodad over here. Now, the Notes Wall of Sound plugin is a free piece of software that Notes offers. They have all kinds of cabinets that you can buy if you want extra ones, and it works great with this. Now, I'm not a huge, like, use your computer person. Some people love that stuff with this. So what I did was I used it with my Notes cab. So this is basically the hardware. This is the software. So basically this is, you know, loading down my amp so it's safe to use and all that stuff. And I ran out of the line out here, the dry line out, from the captor into my Notes cab. Now from the Notes cab, which this is just basically the software emulating all the cabs. Now I went out of that and into the interface on my computer, my Focusrite. And that was pretty much it. And then I just ran straight out of that into my DAW. Boom, I'm recording. You couldn't even hear the amp. I had it cranked up a little bit through the monitors, but you could have it super quiet. And to me, that is so useful. And if you have your cab, you could, you know, throw your headphones in there if you wanted to. Or you could run it into, like I said, just straight out of this into your interface and use the Wall of Sound plugin if you, like I said, are kind of the person who wants to use your computer. Totally an option as well. So we're going to go ahead and check this bad mamma jamma out and see what it sounds like. Just raw tones with the Acacia that I had playing through it. and then I'll send you guys on your ways. Make sure you check this out. Like I said, seriously, if you have a tube amp that has just been sitting in the corner collecting dust because you just can't crank it up anymore, this right here is what you need. You will not be sorry. It's all metal, feels nice, looks sweet. Boom, bam-a-lamb. That will be it for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like I said before, if you get a chance, check out the Notes Captor. This is truly going to be a home studio must-have in no time. I'm very excited to be part of the release video, all this stuff with it, and blown away. I absolutely love it. This is a total backup for me now for using the Notes Live, and actually the Live doesn't do DIs, so this will now be my DI box. So until next time, guys, I will see you all later. Peace out, homies. And I will see you later.